And we should be live. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Friday, April 4th, 4:53 p.m. is the time. The temperature is about 9 degrees Celsius. I see a lot of people in the chat already. Alicia Lewis, Epic Nation HD, Carolyn, Lorraine, Deborah, Kaplan, Vivian Johnson, Zach McNally, Edwin, Daniel, Major Trader, Sunset Puppets, Toronto Moose, John Burke. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. There I am, just chilling. We are next to Scadding Court. That is right. Jack says, what's your favorite street in Toronto? That's a tough one to answer so soon in the stream. I just turned my brain on, but thank you so much for tuning in. Just before I went live in my last stream, I ripped my backpack. Well, it has been replaced. Here is the new bag. That's a Lululemon double zip. Product of Canada. I just picked it up. Thank you to those who sent support for me to get my new bag. But I'm gonna get up here and get running. Make sure I'm all zipped up. Just over there is the intersection of Dundas and Bathurst. Trying to get my backpack strap. It was doing that thing where it was kind of twisted, but we've got it straightened out. This is Dundas. We're going to be going east today. Jasmine NYC says, go Canada. This is Dundas Street, west going east. Kensington Market neighborhood on the left, Alexandra Park on the right. There's a lot of little street food vendors just over there. I've got to make my way east as there's something I need to pick up on the way. I don't know if I'll end the stream. If I'm still streaming when I get there, I guess we'll just have to do that on stream, I guess. But big thanks to everyone who has tuned in. There's a few events going on in the city tomorrow. I think there's a big birthday celebration for the city at Nathan Phillips Square. There's also an Elbows Up rally planned, I think right in front of the U.S. consulate. But remind me not to look at my TFSA and RSP right now. Holy shit, I have lost a lot of value thanks to the orange freak down south. Note to self, don't look at Wealth Simple for a long time, or my bank. There's the CN Tower. So we don't really have a set route in mind. As I said, we're just going to be walking in this direction. It's a pretty nice day. It's about 9 degrees. A little breezy at times. It was a bit warmer this afternoon. James McDonald says, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, James McDonald. Cheers to you. Philip is here. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going live tomorrow or not. Got a bit of a busy weekend lined up, but I wanted to go live at some point, so I just recorded a walk before this. Greetings, OT Sinks. Hopefully the video I recorded today will be a little better received than the one I uploaded this morning. Every once in a while I upload a video and it feels like absolutely nobody watched it. That was the case with today's. Jennifer Gala says apparently the iPhone south of the border will cost an arm and a leg. Stupid will do what stupid does. Taxing the hell out of their own people. That's what an import tariff is. It's a direct tax on the end consumer. Good job, USA. Ramping up inflation and making things even more unaffordable for your own people. But yeah, there's going to be probably a lot of people coming up here buying an iPhone. I nodded at this driver, and then opening it up and bringing it back south as if they had it the whole time. As we look north up Augusta Avenue into the vibrant Kensington Market. I guess those Americans will get SIM card trays on their Canadian iPhones. Again, that's Alexandra Park on the south side of the street. Everyone's going live tomorrow. That might be a bit of a commercial music fest. Might be a minefield for live streaming. James McDonald, 76. Congrats. 76 and on the YouTubes. That's awesome. There's Kensington Market, or Kensington Avenue. Who can tell me what this is for? By the way, at some point in the next few days, I'm going to make an update to how my little experiment in the world of Apple is doing with my MacBook Air. I've edited a video with it. As we walk through Chinatown. Routine Sink says I bought, look at the rid of the stupid emoji bar blocking my chat. I bought a Team Canada beanie hat and hockey jersey. Neat. There's Faux Pasteur. That's been a mainstay of this area. No worries. Cute little dog was at my feet. This is Dundas and Spadina coming up. Do I have any experience with the G20 in Toronto? I was overseas when that all went down. Christine A asking, how's my new MacBook? It's MacBooking. You could say that. There's a guy banging some pots and pans over there. Probably just offended someone with that comment. But fortunately, the 510 Spadina streetcar is back in town. Ed P says, I live in America but stand with Canada. Can't wait to move to Canada. Greetings, Ed P. As we look southeast. Classic view of the tower. Rubicon says industrial music vibes. Competing music vibes. We got these guys over here. That dude over there banging his thing. What do I think about IBM laptops? IBM laptops haven't been a thing for over a decade, I think. They sold the Lenovo brand, or the ThinkPad branding, to Lenovo. But IBM got out of hardware manufacturing on the consumer side ages ago. A lot of people asking about it. It's okay, Alex. Trying to learn to live with it. Matthew S says more cowbell. That's exactly what we need. This must be private. Look how brutal this property is. Paul Blunt, 279. Cheers and happy Friday. Thank you, Paul Blunt, for the 279. Cheers to you. And we are just 16 minutes in and already rocking over 300 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. It's been crazy watching what's happening with some of the nuisance live streamers like Johnny Somali. He's getting ready to get locked up in Korea for a while. This total idiot Vitaly was taking things a bit too far in his live streams in the Philippines, and he could be looking at serious time in what looks like horrible conditions in the prison where he is. Nothing of that sort on this stream. Just walking around, not harming anyone. Ooh, Chinatown smells so good. Smells like pork rotisserie. All you can eat grill and hot pot. Nasha Spa. We are going west to east. Justin Bieber, sus, saved my life. Chunghua Driving School. I read that as Chihuahua Driving School at first. Greetings, Roby. So we are almost out of Chinatown. There's the Art Gallery of Ontario coming up. If I were to keep going straight, I would end up at Dundas Square when we get to Yonge Street. I'm not sure that's in the cards for this one. I think I've got a transit video coming up this weekend. I've got one through that kind of impromptu snowstorm we had a few days ago coming up. I've got a couple from up in Scarborough. I hiked up there yesterday. Starting to get a good little backlog of content going. There's the art gallery. And I'll look north at Beverly Street. Michael Mills has lots of moose sculptures. Right before I hit go live to start this stream, I was sitting on a curb. And this dude walked up out of the hospital and sat down next to me. And it just gave a really creepy vibe. So I went up, I got up and found a new place to start the stream from. Downtown things. And the thing is, as soon as I got up, that guy got up. He went back into the hospital. So he sat down next to me on purpose. Wizard Market. The usual FYI, this live stream is in 4K 60 frames per second. Do check to see if you're watching it in full quality. You can hit the settings cog on your YouTube player, providing your display supports it. It seems to me Toronto and Canada are in a major crisis. Nothing like what they're facing down south. A self-inflicted wound, that one is. We're doing okay up here. Rubicon, $6.99. Thank you, Rubicon. Thank you so much for the support. Let's go south at McCall Street here. Because why the heck not? And this is the Village Idiot Pub. They changed its name to the Village Genius for several years. And recently they named it back to much fanfare. Lisa says, just missed you by a few minutes. I don't think we've ever caught a glimpse of you on a live stream for someone who's always out and about, camera in hand. There's the art gallery. OCAD University. Grange Farm remembers, or Grange Green Farms. There's a food court in there. That's pretty good. Getting into Abhishek. As we go south down McCall alongside the Will Aslop designed floating tabletop, which sits just behind the Art Gallery of Ontario. It's one of those days where you'll see some people in t-shirts. I've seen a few Canada Goose jackets out. He thinks is, what time is it in Toronto? It is 5:14. We'll take a little detour through Grange Park. And we'll head south. The backside of the art gallery. This is one of the best parks downtown, if not the best. There's OCAD. I've ever been here before, only about 10,000 times. When I worked in the financial district, sometimes I'd grab some lunch and bring it here and have it. the OCAD building generally loved or hated? I think it was one of those things that was really polarizing when it first went up. But since then, I think it's kind of a fixture of the city. I think if you had a poll, would you keep it or get rid of it? It would easily get voted to stay around. Dixie says you proposed to your boyfriend in this park in 2019. It is just cold enough. I'm getting some slight sniffle action. Let me just get my glove out for a sec. Going with the ultra thin. I don't know, I'm generally immune to freezing cold. I don't even have that heavy of a coat, but for some reason my hands, whenever I'm holding a gimbal, get super cold. Even in weather like this. I have no idea why. Steven says, get rid of it. You're no fun. Alicia Lewis says she's cold. Oh, that was Grange Park. There's a look back. I'll let this guy turn. Vivian says it's called getting older. I've been like that ever since I was a kid. Always been one to underdress relative to other people when it's cold because it never really bothered me. But my hands, that's another story. David says heated gloves. Imagine wearing heated gloves when it's 9 degrees out like this. It's kind of nuts. Here in London, it was warm, about 19 degrees. There's the tower straight ahead. Is Queen and John. To walk along Queen or to go south down John? What are we gonna do? Hopefully not pick up a copyright match from that place blasting music across the street. There's the Chum building, no longer home to City TV News. This is Queen Street West. There's a look along Queen. Maybe we'll give Queen a break on this stream. Save it for another day. Michael Mills says Queen. Abhishek says Queen. Everyone's saying Queen. I missed that part of the chat. All right, since you guys were all voting Queen, we'll do Queen for a few blocks. Hey, Jeanette is here. Greetings, Jeanette. Hope the grandbabies are doing well. This building is cursed. Whatever goes in there does not work out. There's a Queen streetcar. That's making its way to the Humber. Greetings, Nicole Morse. And the streetcar rolls by, unveiling a view of the CN Tower. And they've kept that CP24 car. There used to be a City Pulse painted SUV coming out of the building. That's quite iconic in the spot, but there's no longer any news being produced in that building. G. Jackie Roxas, $5. Get some hot cocoa. G. Jackie Roxas. Thank you so much for that. Some tariff-free hot cocoa. Thank you, G. Jackie Roxas. We are not stupid enough to tariff stuff that we can't make ourselves. Yeah, let's put tariffs on chocolate and coffee. There's a great idea. There's the financial district off in the distance, but thank you, G. Jackie Roxas. There's definitely going to be some beverages had later tonight. And Mike Landry. Marge says Mike Landry sent... Oh, Mike Landry. Hi, Johnny and everyone. Did I miss that one? I thought I got that one. But Mike, if I missed it, I'm sorry. But thank you so much, Mike Landry. Good afternoon to you, good sir. Thank you, Mike. There's the Korean Grill House. You know the drill, Canadian cocoa. If not, anything but the US. Well, thank you, G. Jackie Roxas. Ooh, I just got a whiff of something that smelled delicious.
Chick Queen, everything is queen.
That lady was like, Chick Queen, everything is queen. Greetings, Pine Soul. Thanks for tuning in on this nice Friday late afternoon, early evening, whatever you want to call it, as we make our way east. Started up near Dundas and Bathurst. Girl in front of me, I don't know how people can walk around like that. If she was in Europe, that phone would be gone in a minute. And I keep anything valuable in like my front pockets, not halfway hanging out of my back pocket. All it takes is someone in the other direction to accidentally bump into you. And while you're startled for a second, their accomplice takes off with your item. Too many videos of that happening on YouTube. Greetings, Robert Reddick. We made it to Queen and University. You know what? Let's skip Nathan Phillips Square. There's going to be a whole lot of people streaming that tomorrow. Possibly in the rain. That's City Hall and Nathan Phillips Square just over there. As we arrive at University. Abhishek says no pickpockets in Toronto. There's been a lot of reports of that kind of thing happening at street festivals, unfortunately. Low-life scum behavior. Let's go south down University for a little bit. Get a glimpse of the tower again. It's getting colder. Cam says teenagers don't feel danger. Yeah, Pinesel. I believe that is the case, unfortunately. As we are at Richmond Street, I turn left here, but the next few blocks to the left aren't the most visually interesting. Cactus is here. Alex, put your cell phone in your jacket pocket. When I travel, I always have everything zipped up. And if it must be in a pocket, the front pocket is where it goes. I have a plan. I keep things separated. I keep my IDs split up. I'll have a passport usually locked up in the hotel safe. And then on me, I'll have my health card or driver's license, and then I'll have the other one locked up in my luggage. I'll usually have 3 credit cards spread out like that as well, and cash. Just kind of a hedging my bets kind of thing. That strategy paid off the one time I was drunkenly pickpocketed. Simons Gordon says, when I was at Yonge and Eglinton yesterday, you saw a black sedan car turn left from Eglinton. Left turns are prohibited. I was standing at the intersection and I saw a car signaling to turn left. And right behind it was a cop. And I said to myself, that is 100% going to cause that cop to light up, and they're getting pulled over. But I stupidly didn't pull out my phone to record it. Yeah, people make illegal left turns at Yonge and Eglinton all the time. Well, and right turns. You will almost always see someone pulled over at least every half an hour at that intersection. It's just easy pickings for the cops. I guess people don't know how to read the signs that have a big line going through a left or right facing arrow. It's not rocket science. I think people see that and they just try to turn anyways. Speaking of turning, let's go left on Adelaide here. Little Friday afternoon rush hour action. Love the view of some of those skyscrapers from here. Christopher Walking is here. Local public eatery. That place is fairly new. Abhishek is calling out bad drivers is the most entertaining part of my video. Someone left a comment saying they wish I didn't do that. Honk honk. These things here, if you are not paying attention on your bike, if you're just like going at a good clip and you have a green light and you don't notice this thing right here, you are going to eat shit. And a lot of people go around these to the right. Really, you should be going around it to the left. And they got a lot of criticism when they went in, but I don't hate them. Really, you should be paying attention anyways, and they create a nice buffer between pedestrians and cyclists and turning vehicles. So I get why they're installed where they are. It actually makes sense to me. Just gotta be on your toes a little bit when you're riding, but you should be anyways. There's a Queen streetcar. It's gonna be turning on to Adelaide. Just for the next few years, we have streetcar service along Adelaide. Rocky LaFuedo. Greetings, Rocky. There we go. The Queen streetcar diverting along Adelaide. Giant three-dimensional head on the left. And there's the Toronto Stock Exchange. A lot of not so happy faces in that place the last few days, I bet. Christopher says, what shoes does he wear? Who, me? Today we are wearing Zeros. My Zero barefoot shoes. I bought a new pair of shoes over Black Friday from Mountain Equipment Co-op that were like $100 off back then. I haven't worn anything out yet to need them, but I'm still waiting to take them out for their first spin. That was one of those presents from past me to future me as we look up at First Canadian Place where I used to work. Claudia says no more New Balance. I haven't worn New Balance in like 3-4 years. Unless you count this coat. This is Bay Street coming up. So I guess we're just going to keep going east on Adelaide for a little bit. Because why not? Greetings, David Little. Abhishek says, First Canadian Place is your favorite building in Toronto? It is for the time being the tallest building in Toronto. It's very soon about to lose that distinction. It's going to lose it to a couple of buildings this year. As we look north up towards Old City Hall, Claudia says the channel started with New Balance. Yeah, I used to wear my 420s and 574s quite religiously. And then I got into the whole wearing shoes that are good for you thing. That guy just blindly started crossing. Claudia says A&W. Yeah, there was a lot of A&W and Popeyes at the end of my live streams. Dave Lill says the clarity of your camera today is most remarkable. Thank you, David. I know the fine folks at Apple worked hard on it. Greetings, sweetie kid. There's my favorite building in the city growing up, Scotia Plaza. I remember watching this go up from my grandparents' apartment building. I could see it from their balcony. I think it went up in 89 or so. This is Young Street coming up. Thank you, Michael Mills. How much data have we pushed out? We've been live for 49 minutes. Or I've been live. I think this live stream might be a little short of that. And I have used 8.5 gigabytes. Lisa's back. That streetcar is honk happy. Probably right turning vehicles were blocking the path of the streetcar. They were too far left. That happens quite a bit. There's look north up Young Street. Robert Reddick's is 89, great year. Lisa says I almost caught up with you. So when I crossed Young Street, we crossed over into the east side of downtown. There's an item I need to pick up on the eastern side of downtown. Hence why we're going this way. It's always good to have an excuse or a reason or a direction or destination. Hey, there's a Sanso Thai ramen. I remember eating at that place right when it opened up. As we arrive at Victoria Street, just south of here is Birksea Park with the dog fountain, which is not running yet. Greetings, Trish Colbert. Lisa says I'm fast, but you're faster. Well, I dilly-dally at times when I'm streaming. If the camera was away, I'm pretty sure who would be faster. Hey, good on that couple. And these people in front of us going out. Getting that yucky kind of cardio in. Greetings, Jelly Bean. At the start of the stream, I showed off my new backpack as we look southbound Toronto Street. Yes, there is a Toronto Street. On my last live stream, right before I went live, I ripped my old backpack. I just purchased a new one, and a lot of people contributed towards that on the last live stream. Thanks to everyone for your efforts. I ended up buying Canadian. This is Church Street. Maybe we'll walk through St. James Park for a wee little bit. This cafe is pretty new. Versus Coffee. I should bring my MacBook there and pretend to write the next great novel. There's look north up Church Street. Across 550 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. I'm not sure when I'll go live next. There's a chance it's tomorrow, but I also might not. There's rain in the forecast, and I'm quite busy this weekend. But do hit that bell notification if you want to find out when the next live is. Heinzel says you stop shopping on Amazon and walk over to the mom and pop shop. I always used to have a thing where I bought a lot of stuff off Amazon because I didn't really see the big Canadian grocery stores as being the good guys. At least stuff that was priced much better than I could get at local stores. Things like my bubbly sparkling water and stuff like that, but I've stopped getting that from Amazon. All right, let's cut through the park here.
Are you Johnny Strides?
That's me.
Oh my god, hi, I'm
Hi,
a
do
fan.
you want to be on stream?
Sure.
All right. Ran into a viewer. Hi.
Hi.
We're just going for a walk.
It's pretty nice out today.
Yeah. Can I ask your name?
Marlo.
Marla.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Tom? Oh, nice to meet you guys. You can go home and watch this
For
back
sure.
and see where you are.
Thank you.
That's
All right.
sick.
Cheers. Have a good day. Friendly viewers. And here are the tiny homes. One of them was recently removed, as the person occupying it, I think it was home number 3, was moved into a permanent or a more permanent spot in an actual apartment building, which is great news. The mission for those things was always to be temporary. I guess the slightly head scratching part is, why didn't they find someone new to move into the old one? Like, what happened to that? I don't know, but I think that was the city trying to get these things out. But you can learn all about that on Ryan's channel, Tiny Tiny Homes. You can find it on YouTube. Carolyn says, yeah, Tom and Marlo. I always get awkward when I meet people. They were ridiculously friendly. It's always cool to meet fans or viewers. There's St. James Cathedral. Hands down the most well-known church in the city. Jolly Bean says, I like that church. What would it be in Montreal? Notre Dame or Notre Dame? Notre Dame, Notre Dame, I don't know. One of those. There's the old St. Lawrence Hall. Currently an event venue. And we're on King Street East. We're going to be walking through an area where George Brown campus is. All right, Jeanette, thank you for dropping in. Heinzel says when I met you, you were too busy filming Lower Bay and another viewer came by. I always run into viewers when I go down to Lower Bay during doors open. I think that's just the type of thing that attracts people that are into this sort of thing. Geek out on a special part of the city. Forbidden subway station. This is George Street coming up. It was about 4 years ago. Maybe 3? I don't think they did doors open in 2021, did they? Oh well, my memory is shit. A lot of college students hanging out in this area. I was walking through U of T earlier today. Greetings, Greg Keating. Gertej says, what's for dinner? I don't know. I've got to complete my mission first. This is Frederick Street. Carolyn, $10. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, Carolyn. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well. Thank you for the support, Carolyn. Claudia says, have tofu? Nah. I'm gonna get my protein from a different source. Flick Hunter, $10. Watch the replay of the pancakes videos or video towards the maple syrup fud. Flick Hunter, thank you so much. I got a fair bit of comments on that dollar store brand syrup I was using. Flip around. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. Hey, it's the most ridiculously named store in the city. Design within reach. Except a sofa like that one will only set you back about 15,000 bucks in that store. Within reach to who? Not me. This place is a little more affordable, EQ3. As we cross Sherbourne Street. These greetings, Cynthia Sunflowers. Heinzel's been craving pancakes for a while. I don't know, I kind of burnt those pancakes. People are being way too nice to me in the comments. When I was making them, I was thinking, oh God, these look terrible. And yet, some people are like, those look good. I was like, oh, you guys are just being nice, protecting my feelings. This is Princess Street. All right, thanks for the support, guys. The South Street Burger is Dunzo. It used to be owned by New York Fries. They started that chain. I'm gonna check something quickly here. One sec. A lot of construction going on. Some Ontario line construction coming up. Tahini's Mediterranean fusion cuisine. Heinzel says a new stainless steel pan might up my pancake game. I don't know, I think I had my burner on a little too high. I think my pancake mix was slightly too thick. Blue Meaford scrambles their pancakes. There's an idea that didn't occur to me. Greetings, Vasily. You intercepted me a few streams back. There's a Kinton ramen. So you'll notice the streets are a lot less lively. The further east we go downtown, that's just the way it is. The streets are less lively and the furniture stores are ridiculously expensive. There's one called Kiosk. And there's going to be a future Ontario line stop going in over there, and that's a massive staging ground for the construction of that upcoming subway line. hope we don't end up calling it the Ontario line. Just call it line number whatever it is. Would it be line 7? Finch is line 6, right? Yeah, just call it line 7. Abby Plays asking what camera I'm using. It's an iPhone 15 Pro. But it's really the streaming software that I use that makes it possible. We're in a pretty high bit rate, combining multiple providers. Before this software, live streamers who did this would have to have networking gear in their backpack. They sold these things called streaming backpacks. Some people made them themselves. And you'd have to have like a massive battery and a networking card, essentially functioning as a router. Then you would still need to use a streaming software server and hook it all up through SRT. But finally, someone was able to make it all possible without all that stuff. I know some people that were using what's called a Bella box, which was the easiest form of making all that magic happen. But even then, that was a bit too cumbersome for me, so I opted not to do that and just use Prism. And I think, I'm not bragging, but I don't think there's anyone streaming in anywhere near this quality. So it's quite a miracle what this software has been able to do. I take no credit for it. The developer should get it all. Hey, you know what a stop sign is? Of course you don't. You drive a Mercedes. Gertej will meet me wearing his Terminator shirt. I look forward to it. Gertej. You can say, I'll be back. Heinzel says, how about walking around with a Starlink? I think the NYC Walking Show or the Walking Commuter in New York tried that. But the problem is it's more of a line of sight thing. You'll have a great connection one moment and then you'll lose it. And there's also a massive ping issue.
Put stickers on it? You want to put some truck stickers on it? That would make it like unique. Do what? Oh, you're such a sad guy right now. I'm sorry to hear that.
Something in my backpack is making a repeated clicking noise. I'll have to troubleshoot that. Well, it is quiet through here. There's the Sackville Playground. Greetings, Mark Lang. I just missed you in Bangkok last year. Yes, Christine, the first school in Toronto and the oldest church in Toronto we walked by. And that first church was a gift back in the day. That's how a lot of things happened. There were really wealthy people. But they weren't like today's wealthy people trying to take over the world. At least some of them weren't. They would often gift a lot of their estates to the city to be developed into parklands. And they would make generous donations to build schools and other facilities. The Massey family was a big donor. Although I guess that was part of the deal when you would get a huge swath of land in a brand new place. There's Gusto 501. Hansel says, please don't mention Bangkok. Oops. As we go underneath Adelaide and Richmond streets, just to the southeast of here, they become Eastern Avenue. And this is Sumach Street coming up. Well, congrats on landing your favorite streetcar seat, Lisa. A little bit of a detour here to check out this awesome residential street, Bright Street. Got these kind of slanted houses. Look at that. That house is leaning. Rethink ready-made, fresh, never frozen meals at your door. Factor. They fill my mailbox up with so many flyers. They've cut down a few forests worth of trees, just trying to get me to sign back up to them. There's a Cube House sighting. British says Bangkok, Thailand is beautiful. Oh, it's one of my favorite places on earth. Big, crazy, vibrant city. You just feel so alive every time you step on the street there. It's really hard to explain. Sandra says I couldn't stand the taste of Factor. Well, they suck you in with these great deals, and then when the price goes up to full, you realize, holy shit, I could just order Uber Eats and it would be cheaper. Lisa says your friend sent you a code and now you can't make the ad stop. Alicia Lewis is going to Thailand soon. Hurry up, May. Congrats, where are you going? One place I haven't been on this channel is Phuket. Well, there's a lot of places I haven't been. I've really just been to Bangkok, Samet, Samui, Chonburi. But I think Phuket is definitely in the future. I've also wanted to go back to Bali in that part of the world. If you ever want to hear a ton of people speaking in an Australian accent, just go to Bali. Right. River Street. Chuck Diamond, member for 53 months. Always support your channel. Keep walking. You do, Chuck Diamond. And not just a member, but a God tier member. I think you've been God tier pretty much the whole way through. Thank you so much, Chuck Diamond. Holy tamale, 53 months. You are awesome. Alicia Lewis going to Pattaya. Pattaya is interesting. There's a lot of fun nightlife there. I think Republic is a really neat club. Maybe go for a walk along Soi 6 and then never do that again, but you can say you experienced it. But definitely get out to Koh Larn, the island. You can take a ferry there from Pattaya. It's really cheap. It's a stunning island. You'll find yourself in a very Thailand-y feeling kind of atmosphere. Beautiful beach. Lissy, $5. Hi, Johnny. Hi, chat. Lissy. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you so much for the $5. We are nearing the end, but thank you so much. It's definitely appreciated. Alicia Lewis has a spare plane ticket now. Have you visited Koh Lanta? No, I haven't. Can you even have a spare plane ticket? I don't think they allow ticket reassigning these days, do they? If you spelled your name wrong, they'll fix it with ID, sometimes for a charge, but I didn't know you could have an empty ticket like that. Cameron says, love how you always find interesting things to film. Would love to see you do in Ottawa. I went to Ottawa, I think maybe 4 years ago, made some videos, did some streams, I think around the Byward Market. Miranda is moving back to Toronto in August. Awesome. Welcome back in advance. And yes, we just spun around. I've got to go pick up an item and use the little boys' room. I think we're just going to end the stream in a few minutes. There's an Impact Kitchen. Where's George Brown College? That is, a good 10-15 minutes in the direction I'm walking. Although really, George Brown College is all over the city. There's an Impact Kitchen. All right, Pine Sol. I finally get to stay at a Marriott on my next trip. I got the Amex card. That gives me one free stay at a Marriott every year. The card is $120 and the hotel stay is worth about $350, $400. So I got the card just for the free hotel night. So I'm looking forward to burning that. But I think this is going to be all she wrote for the stream. Sorry, it was a little on the short side. I was running a little bit late today. I've got something I need to do. Hey, before we do that though, Sheena Roberts, £5. Thanks for the walk, Johnny. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Sheena. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone who helped contribute to my new backpack as well. But this is all there's going to be for this one. I want to thank our mods for their great work, Patreon supporters, YouTube channel members, and everyone else. Do like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. Ooh, this is a private lane. We shouldn't be here. The horrors. Thanks to the mods I saw tuning in. I'm trying to get the feet down. Thank you, Alicia, Daniel, Vivian, Carolyn, Marge. All right. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Not sure if I'm going live tomorrow, but there'll be plenty of other people going live tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend, folks. And now I shall end this one like this. All I got to do is press the magic button and the credits will roll. So thank you so much, guys. Just trying to make this as awkward as possible. And stay safe. I will catch you on the next one. Have a good weekend. Yoink.